Okay, so next one is Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. So, this one kind of picks up after the fifth movie, and it follows the Tommy Jarvis character, but of course he's not the killer in this, he's the hero again. And now he's out of the mental institution, and for some reason he takes one of his buddies, who's actually played Horshack in the show Welcome Back Kotter. He takes him up to the graveyard to try to kill off Jason to make sure he's dead. And what happens is Tommy sticks a pole. It's like storming outside, and Tommy sticks a pole in, inside Jason's corpse. Well, there's a storm going on, and a bolt of lightning hits it, and kind of like Frankenstein, it resurrects Jason. And Jason comes back and starts wreaking havoc again. This one's directed by I think Tom McLaughlin, and if this one tried to go for a more horror comedy route. I mean, it's still kind of serious, but you could tell the series is kind of losing steam at this time. Because like the fifth movie, you had an imposter Jason, and in this movie they're trying to go for a more comedic route. And I mean, I liked the movie just fine. I liked how Jason looked in this movie. The actor who betrayed him, he had more like a like stoic movement to him, because Jason's basically a freaking zombie at this point, and Jason has more like a mechanics kind of suit, kind of like Michael Myers' jumper, and he has like a belt, like a utility belt and stuff. But like I said, this one is, Tommy brings back Jason, and he's like running around telling telling these people and telling the sheriffs, he's like, you guys gotta believe me, Jason's back. And they're saying like, we cremated Jason, there's no way he's coming back. And so they lock him up, and then all these murders start happening at the campsite. Of course, this one's actually at Camp Crystal Lake, but they changed it to I think Camp Forest Green, and it's these whole new group of counselors, and this time, like, they actually have kids at this camp. Like, this is the first Friday the 13th movie where you actually see children at the camp, which I thought, wow, that's amazing. Like, all these people, they just show up to the camp, don't even try to open it, they don't even last that long. But, you know, Tommy, is trying to tell him, like, oh, Jason's out there and stuff. And, he gets the sheriff's daughter involved, and, later on they go back to Camp Crystal Lake or Camp Forest Green to, rescue the children and the camp counselors. This one, too, has some pretty brutal deaths in it. Some of the more famous ones that stick out to me is the, triple beheading. There's, like, these three guys, they're, doing paintball guns in the woods, or not three guys. It was two guys and a woman, and they're shooting paintballs in the woods. I guess they're having a paintball war, and yeah, it's four people. It's three guys and one woman. I have to mention it because one of the characters is like very sexist. He just goes on this rant, I can't stand these fucking women and stuff like that. And Jason like kills him, like he throws him against the tree, and once he hits, it's like his face hits and he slides down the blood and it makes like a smiley face. But the triple beheading, um, there's three of them. Jason comes up, freaking slashes all three of their heads off in one swing. Um, there's a one scene where a sheriff gets his back cracked, like literally Jason takes him and forces, like he's on his knees. Jason takes him, pushes him back, and cracks his back like it's like. Have you ever seen like Freddy versus Jason, where the guy is in the bed and Jason takes the bed and goes like that, and he folds in half? That's basically what happens with the sheriff. Um, then there's this couple that are out in the woods, and one of them gets she falls in they're like stuck in mud and stuff. They're trying to get their car out of the water, and the woman falls out the car and she gets stabbed. She's like laying in a puddle. She's like trying to hand Jason some money and stuff, and she thinks, oh, he's gonna try to rob me, but no. Jason like takes the spear and stabs her right in the face, or stabs, yeah, right in the face, and you just see like her head's underneath the water and like bubbles forming, and then you see a Visa MasterCard float out of her hand, and what's his name? Tom McLaughlin said, "Oh yeah, it was supposed to be a criticism about communism at the time. Not communism, damn, capitalism and consumerism. That's it. At the time, um, there's one death scene you don't see it, but there's one girl or one of the camp counselors. She's just like hanging out in her cabin. Jason gets a hold of her, but one of the other counselors goes back into the cabin, and there's like a freaking blood everywhere, and like you're like, what the hell did Jason do to her? Then there's, I'm trying to remember what else. Oh yeah, there's this couple in the RV and they're having sex, and like Jason's walking, you can see the RV shaking, and like Jason just like looks back at the camera, and then they're driving the RV, and the guy who's actually driving the RV, I think he's the nephew of John Travolta, and you could tell like he's related because they kind of look alike. But he's driving the woman's in the bathroom. Like the guy's driving like a maniac in the RV, and the woman's in the bathroom. Jason grabs her, shoves her face into the wall, and it's like metal, and like her face goes through the wall, and it kind of looks like, in I don't know what Star Wars movie it is, but where they take Han Solo and they like cryogenically freeze him and like put his body in the metal. That's what it kind of reminded me of. And then the guy driving, he gets stabbed in the head, and then like the RV flips over, and then Jason comes out and just like stands on top of it. Um, some of the scenes with the kids is pretty funny. Like when Jason's like going around the camp killing people, there's like these two boys hiding underneath the bed, and then one of them's like, and he talks to the other one. He says to the other one, "So what did you want? So what did you want to be when you grew up?" And then Jason goes into one cabin, and there's like a little girl. She's like always afraid. Like she's like, I see a monster walking around. She has a teddy bear, and then like she's laying in bed, and then Jason comes up to her, and he like sticks her face near her, and then like he does nothing and just leaves. And I was like, wow. It's like, Jason actually has a soft spot for kids. Yeah. Then there's the big finale at the end where Tommy is fighting Jason, and they're fighting on the boat and stuff, and there's like a ring of fire around the boat, and they tie a rock, or yeah, I think it was a rock. They tie it around Jason's ankle, and then Jason sinks to the bottom of Crystal Lake, and he's stuck there for right now until part 7. But The movie also makes a lot of references to other horror movies. There's a shop where I think it's called Karloff's shop or something like that. I'm trying to remember. Of course, there's the reference at the beginning to how Jason's resurrected. It's a reminiscent of Frankenstein, how Frankenstein was brought to life. Um, Also, this movie was supposed to introduce Jason's father, Elias Voorhees, but that didn't work out. And there's a gravedigger in the movie. He's kind of like Crazy Ralph from the first two movies, which I forgot to mention him in the review. But he's like digging a grave, and he looks at the camera, and he's like, "Some folks got a weird sense of entertainment." Yeah, that's another thing too. This movie has a lot of like action scenes and self-referential humor. There's a car chase scene, the RV scene where it flips over, and then yeah. Uh, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the series, anyways, but I would highly recommend this one. I mean, it is getting to the point where the series is like kind of running out of ideas of what to do, but it is pretty funny. There's a lot of good action scenes in it. There's a lot of great kills in it. And, yeah, I would highly recommend this one.